Welcome to the Sam and Joe VA Show, where we teach women just like you how to start and scale a thriving virtual assistant business.
We're your hosts, Sam and Joe, and get ready to have the control, flexibility, and freedom you've always dreamed of.
Welcome to episode 194. Stop with the fucking stock photos.
I made you swear. I made you use the F word, Joe. This is so important, though. This is such an important topic. I think we've touched on it very briefly in maybe an episode like 3 or 4 years ago. But we want to talk about it. We want to dedicate an entire episode to it because we are still seeing hundreds of virtual assistants who are struggling to find clients, struggling to get a steady stream of leads come through. One of the reasons being is you check them out online and all you see is stock images. Bloody boring, generic images. Like, virtual assistants, your business isn't generic. So why are you using imagery that is generic, that you could see anywhere, that's overused?
Yeah, some of the stock photos that are the classic stock photo lifestyle ones that I've seen overdone everywhere. Okay, what's your worst stock photo ever?
Well, I know what yours is. Mine would be, and apologies to our American audience, because we do have lots of Americans listening to this episode. There is nothing worse than being based in this part of the world, seeing VAs from this part of the world using, which is very obvious, American corporate stock imagery with people in offices, people holding hands, people. Yeah, I'm sorry, holding hands.
The one holding hands with the circle. Gross. Yeah.
Like, I don't know, maybe that is suitable for an American virtual assistant, but even I really don't think it is.
No one should use that. No,
very overused. Very overused. So I think almost any stock image that you go, God, I've seen that a dozen times already. What is special about that? Like, whose site am I on?
Okay, here is my worst stock photo ever that we still see so much, is any stock image that has a black screen on a device. A phone, someone holding a phone with a black screen, a tablet, a laptop. Those stock images are not meant to be used with the black screen showing. It is black because then you can replace it with something that is on brand for you. Your website, a page, a social media account, your client's social media account, like whatever you're trying to showcase. Please don't use the photo as is with the black screen.
It's a big no-no. It's a big no-no. We do see that a lot. Yeah. Yeah. The other thing I think people need to be aware of when it comes to stock imagery, like I would be wary of using any type of stock imagery that actually has somebody's face in it. Like, I think you have to be really careful about that entirely. If you're going to use stock imagery, I'd much prefer like layouts, like desk layouts or offices or things like that. I think you can get away with that type of imagery, but anything with people in, I think you have to be really careful. Like a lot of the stock imagery you see with people in, like, let's be honest, it's not very diverse either. Like, is it really representative of your ideal client or you or the people around you?
Yeah. Very generic. So if you are going to use stock image, the other thing we would also want you to make sure of is that, like, let's say you've got 3 different services and you're going to put 3 stock images, like, to represent your services. What we see so often is just like a really dark stock image and then a super light one and then a really colorful one with like pops of color that are not on brand at all and are not consistent. So it doesn't feel like it gels or it's consistent or it's like giving off the same kind of vibe. It's very jolty and like, oh, these are just, they don't match, they don't marry, they don't look consistent. It's very jarring.
It is very jarring. I would much prefer to see a virtual assistant who has built their own website with just a whole heap of DIY headshots that they've done themselves. I would much prefer that. That is going to be a way of building a relationship online with people visiting you, whether that's on your website or whether it's your social media account, that stock imagery will never do. It's never going to build relationships. Do you think the VAs that are relying on stock images, it's because they're really reluctant to be the face of their business? They're afraid of putting themselves out there. They're afraid of judgment. Because I feel like it's more than I can't afford a brand shoot. Because there are workarounds, like you just do your own brand shoot. That's fine. So
not
it's got to be
yourself
more
in photos.
Yeah. So self-confidence, a lack of confidence of being not liking the way you look.
And I think we're kind of past the point where you can get away with not being the face of your business. Like, people buy from people. If you think about this virtual assistant relationship that you have with your clients, it is built on trust. And they cannot build any trust with you if they cannot see your eyes, your face, connect with you, because that's where we see an initial like reaction of like, can I trust this person? Because I'm looking in their eyes. No one's going to pick up the phone and call you and ask you to be their virtual assistant if they have not seen you anywhere.
I mean,
and they've seen a stock image instead.
We have hired a few virtual assistants. We have a virtual assistant now. We've had previous virtual assistants in the past. And when we do our research, there is no way we would reach out to somebody that does not have photos of them out there in the world, wherever it is. They're hiding behind stock imagery and their logos. You just wouldn't.
Never. I would never. No.
The other thing that you hear a lot about, especially coming into 2024, like there's a lot of discussion online about what to post, like kind of the do's and do nots of being online and having an online business. And there's a lot of talk about being authentic. It's a buzzword at the moment, authenticity. Now, is stock imagery authentic?
Definitely not.
So you're breaking 2024's number one rule.
Just made up and declared.
No, I'm hearing it everywhere.
Yeah.
Like people are wanting authenticity.
Absolutely. Yes.
And a stock image is anything but.
Now, we understand that not every virtual assistant is kind of in the point in their journey where a paid brand shoot makes sense. Like, we get that. There are ways, and we teach this in Launch in 30 Days. One of the days inside Launch is doing a DIY brand shoot. We all have an amazing, I'm going to hold up my black screen. See how awful that looks? Look at that stock image for anyone watching on YouTube.
Horrible.
So the phones that we have now have amazing portrait modes on with all sorts of settings that you can change. And there are ways that you can edit photos very DIY and very low cost, if not free. that you just have all the tools that you need, natural light coming through a window, like you have all of the things that you need to do a DIY brand shoot without spending any extra money.
I mean, we haven't even started talking about AI and what AI is capable in terms of helping you with your own imagery either.
Yeah. I
That's
started
a game
seeing a lot
changer.
of people getting a professional headshot created by AI by uploading your own like photo, and it makes it into a professional version. Pretty sure at Strictly Savvy, we've actually used AI to put in a really nice background behind someone and kind of elevate their DIY just shot of themselves for their headshot, their profile image.
I'm pretty sure we've got an image on our own website of us supposedly in Bali for our retreat page. We're not in Bali.
We do, yes. So there are ways, very low cost, if not free, to get photos of yourself on your website, on your online presence, on your social posts. And you know what? Even I feel like if we had a look at our most performing posts on Instagram, it will be a selfie shot that is not edited, that is not one of our brand shoot photos, because it looks like just your friend posted a photo that they took on the weekend. And people can connect with someone who looks really natural like they normally do in real life. And it's really authentic. I think don't shy away from using just selfies that you take. Like obviously not on the beach in your bikini or anything, but like, you know, a really nice selfie on your website is a great way to start.
Yeah. We need to move away from overused, generic, cheesy, off-brand, boring imagery.
100%.
It is time. So if you've got any online presence whatsoever, we want you to go away and do a little audit, a little review, check everything, every social media platform you're on, every page of your website, and replace those boring stock images with something more genuine, something more authentic, something that is going to build relationships with leads.
Thanks for listening to this episode of the Sam and Joe VA Show. If you'd like to find out more, head to the VA Foundry website to check out the mastermind and the amazing resources, courses, and coaching.
You can find us at thevafoundry.com.